I'm Martin Iturbide. Martin Iturbide es Iturbide.
¿Cómo dicen allá?
Martin Iturbide. That's, well, in English, I don't know. Martin Iturbide. I don't know. I'm the OS2 World News Master. I started to work, to collaborate on OS2 World since the year 2000, when I started helping Kim Haberblad to have his site. So I started with the news, so I'm the news master, even that I also work with other scripts on the site. Well, today I'm here to talk about collaboration, or how to collaborate on the OS2 and e-commerce station community. So there are some topics I'm going to be talking about. First is that when you start collaborating on the OS2 and e-commerce station community, you may get into the starfish thrower dilemma. Do you know the starfish thrower's history? It's by Lauren Esley from '69, but it was heavily adapted by motivational speakers. The history goes like, there is a writer that lives on the beach. And one night the tide was very, very high, and the next morning there was all these starfish on the beach, and the sun was rising, and the starfish were all going to die when the sun hit it. But it was dozens of starfish, and this writer saw some men grabbing the starfish and throwing it back to the sea. So the writer came to the men and said, "You cannot save them all. They are going to die. Why are you wasting your efforts? Why are you doing this? You're not going to save it all. These efforts do not count. They are not valid. You're wasting your time. These do not count." So that guy saw the writer, just bent down, grabbed the next starfish and throw it to the sea, and said, "It counts for that one." So, well, the history says that the writer just stayed all the day throwing a starfish with that man. So this is the dilemma that we face when we try to collaborate on the OS2 community. There's going to be people saying, why? Why are you doing this? Why are you collaborating to this community? So the final answer is that you don't need to respond why to collaborate. You just need someone in the present or future that found your efforts useful. So you will be helping someone, just one, maybe today, maybe in the long future, but your efforts will count to that. And maybe your efforts are very small. Maybe you say, "No, this is just a paragraph. This are just 2 lines. I'm collaborating." But if you allow it to add up to something bigger, so it can be merged into something else, it can really grow. It can really grow into something bigger and greater. Okay? You're playing with the BNC.
That's because it's the only way I can get to update the other.
Okay. Okay, that's it. So, how do we collaborate? So we need to stop thinking about yourself as a consumer of content on the internet, and you have to start seeing yourself as a creator. That is the reason. That is the main reason, or why. That is why. When you see yourself as a creator, you will notice that you can write and make stuff. Yeah, even if small. It doesn't have to be huge. There is people that think, "No, is it not incredible big? I will not do it. No, it's too small. I don't want to share it." No, it doesn't have to be huge. Don't worry about the size. It doesn't have to be perfect. There are people that say, "No, it's not perfect. I'm not releasing it." No, release it as it is. No, there's no problem. There is no warranty because you are collaborating for free. So perfect things are not needed. Then there's no need to be complete. Believe me, you can collaborate with half-baked stuff. You can say, "Okay, it's not complete. I just leave it until here. I just reach here. I don't know how to continue with that." So it doesn't need to be complete. It doesn't need to be professional. It doesn't need to be made by a professional writer. just write as you can. And there is also the other thing. There are people that say, I have heard this on the OST community, if it's not state of the art, top of the line, I'm not going to do it. And at the end, he doesn't do anything. So it doesn't have to be state of the art, top of the line. They say, no, if I'm not going to use in artificial intelligence, I'm not going to develop this. Well, we don't have artificial intelligence. We're not going to do anything at all. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be complete. It doesn't have to be state of the art, top of the line. You just need to collaborate with whatever you can. Okay? So what are the tools we can use to collaborate? All the tools are available for free. There are no secret tool. There are no need to pay for license. And the tools are called, I don't know if you hear the Web 2.0, which was in like a few years ago, it was like big news. Now it's just there on the internet. The Web 2.0 was the evolution of the web. Remember, Web 1.0 was static websites that were only created by people that knows HTML, that has a web server, and nobody else can create websites, nobody can comment, and nobody can connect to the other, only email was used at that time. So with the Web 2.0, the consumers became the creators of the content. They start not only to read things, but only to put their opinions, and also to create pages and to create content. And we forgot about the complexity to having a server, to maintaining a server, to update it. And it's great to do quick things. You can do very quick things without worrying, oh, what is this server? Where is, I don't know, where is plugging? Where is working? What operating system does it have the server? Well, we don't have to worry about that. We just need to focus on what we need to, what we want to share. That is the only thing we focus. And there's one of the tools that we have to collaborate one way to collaborate is helping on the forums. Okay, we just log in the forums and we share what we can. If someone has a problem, we collaborate that. The good thing about the forums is that they are searchable, they are indexed on Google search, for example. So somebody can search for something and can get a response from the forum that was replied like months ago. Okay? So working on helping on the forum is a way to collaborate. I don't know if you know more forums. I know there are more forums around. We have the OS2 World Forum. We have OS2Org it's more for the people in Germany, but they also use English. We have the Usenet. The Usenet is still there. I don't know why you use it with Google Groups.
Yeah.
Because the Usenet used to be like some kind of complex with your ISP. Your ISP needs to give you access. In Ecuador, my ISP never knew what is the Usenet. They never gave us a Usenet server. So Usenet is not. I don't know. There are always two users there, but it's not as it was before, right? No. So people like more a forum on the browser, right? And Usenet is it has a lot of spam. I remember I was trying to get administration access to a comp.os.os2 forum.
Yeah.
I was trying to dig who has the access, and people say, no, this Usenet, no, don't use anymore. It's a waste of time. Well, I stopped it there. Well,
Yahoo groups.
There are Yahoo groups, but I try to see how much active there are, but there's no more. There's not many of us on the Yahoo groups.
No, it's way down.
It's really gone. So this is what I was able to find out about forums. There are also mailing lists. Mailing lists are used a lot. Yeah. Okay. There's also what you can do is try to write some material. Try to write some kind of material, and there are several tools you can use on this. What kind of material you can write? Well, you can write little things, something that is 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs, and a picture. For these days, that is not And you can write longer articles. And where do you will post that articles? Well, back on the days we used to have that monthly newsletters. We used to have online magazines. But right now, even that OS2 Voice is available, and they want to reactivate their newsletter magazine. There are other tools that you can use independently and individually. You can use wikis. I'm going to explain that later. You can use blogs. You can go to Google. There's the tool Blogger, and you can write your own blog. And you don't even care what is running, what script is, if the script updated or not. You just post content there. Yeah, just posting content, and there is no worries about it. And you can blog about whatever you want. Of course, we want you to blog about OS2 and Ecom Station, but a blog can be used by anything. My personal blog is about hardware. It's about whatever is happening in Ecuador and OS2 also. Okay. You can also post videos. And well, it's not nice on OS2 and Ecom Station to create or to record and screen video, but you can also do it. And well, young people are now, I don't like it, but they are communicating more with videos. When they look for something, the second most used search engine is YouTube. They search on Google, or sometimes they start searching on YouTube. They say, oh, let me see a video of this subject. And they just spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes watching the video. Okay? So we can also create videos. There is a screen recorder software in Java that allows us to record the video of OS2. And we can also write material and post it on forums. A forum is not an exclusive place just to request help. You can also post material, say, oh, look, I found this. Sometimes at OS2 World, they use the forum to announce things. Oh, look, I wrote this article on my site. Go visit it. It's fine. Okay? So we can write any kind of material and we can post it anywhere. Okay? So we have several options. I don't know, if you don't like OS2 World, you can post it somewhere else. There is no limits on that. You can create a blog, we can create a wiki some other places. Or you can post it on OS2 World. I'll be happy to help with that. Another thing that we can do to collaborate is to read the news and also share the news. So there are several places that you can check on the OS2 community about news. You can check, well, ECSsoft2.org is an Italian site where they have a good tracking of which software is released, and they update the site, and you can see, oh, if something show up on Hub's new, they will update their page and say, oh, this new version is available. So this is a very good site to find news about new software releases. OS2 Voice, the newsletter is also available. There was a complaint that nobody was getting that newsletter, but it's working.
The newsletter hasn't been published for a long time.
What?
The newsletter hasn't.
No, not the newsletter. The news. The news.
The news.
The news. Yeah.
Well, we were talking about that earlier today. And, I have received some emails from Voice that they're like the NetLabs update, whatever that thing is.
Yeah, the NetLabs news.
I've gotten some of those, but they didn't really register with me because I read that and it's all jargon and I don't really understand it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the ones that were really valuable to me were the ones that said, hey, there's a new release of Firefox, get it here and all that. Those I haven't been receiving for about a year.
Well, that is strange. I think that you should try to re-register to us.
No, I don't think they're coming out.
What?
No, I'm not getting it.
Well, there are not as much as I don't know, as like 2 years ago. 2 years ago, you get daily news.
Yeah.
Now, OS2 Voice.
No, there's a new editor.
I think that that guy that was there just quit. I think it was
Well, the thing, I think the thing has to be
There
that
really isn't the
people
content.
who create the new update
Yeah.
need to report that to
Yeah, that's another thing.
Voices.
It's right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have os2voice.org. That is like a newsletter that sends you email, and also have the news on their site. We have os2world.com, where I update the news every time some new release arrive. I try to post it there. Maybe it's not daily, but well, I try my best to keep it updated. And we have the other side that is called os2Warp News and Rumors, which is also a very good source that is almost updated weekly. He also searched all the software that has been updated.
That's very good, but he's not weekly anymore.
Well, yes, it's been taking like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Well,
Which one?
no, more than 2 weeks, no.
6.
No,
Last time
6
6.
weeks. Okay, and what we can do is also read the news, and we can also share them on social networks. So we are on Facebook, on Google Plus, on Twitter. We can reshare them. It helps also to reshare the news. And also, it's important if you find something new, if you find some new documentation that somebody posted and was not posted in the news, it is also good to submit news. You can submit news to os2voice, you can submit news to os2world, and to the Warp News and Rumors very easily, or sending an email, or filling an online form. And it's very easy, and the good thing is that we share between each other the news, and we expand the news. Well, we replicate the news on each site. So if you like any of these places, well, they have all updated news. That's the idea. Okay? What I'm also working on is the open source campaign. I have been working this since 5 years. And what I'm doing is trying to reach for OS2 developers that have software that is not being updated anymore. It's called abandonware, and ask them to try to open source the software. So I say, please send me the source code. Tell me which open source license do you like, and I try to make that source code public. When we post the source code and we post an open source license, which are the rules under what you can do with that source code, it helps these softwares to create that everything works. So other developer can grab it and improve it and make new releases. So that is the idea of my open source campaign, trying to recover the source code of abandonware software, of old software. Of course, there are some issues. The worst issue that I found is that, oh yes, the source code is on my hard drive on the basement, and I haven't touched it in 10 years. So when they turn the computer, they find out that the hard disk crashed like 6 years ago. So the source code gets lost forever. So that is my main issue, that software is disappearing. And it's because, well, we don't have access to the source code, and that's it. We cannot recover it. We cannot use it for more.
If you can get the disk, though, you might be able to take it somewhere and have them retrieve.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, there are options in that plate, but there are some that say, I have no idea where the source code is. So sometimes has a hard disk crash. Some ones lost or their files, or say, okay, I moved from my house, I divorced. She has the source code, I can go back there and ask for it. Okay. The other thing that I was talking about is creating videos. Here on the OS2 and Ecom Station community, we're really bad creating videos. The only one that I can say that really creates good video is Sigurd from, in Germany. He has created good reviews of OS2. He has created good videos of using software on OS2, and he uploaded it to YouTube. But it's also a good way to share knowledge, to create some small video that can be created with Java screen recorder, which is not nice, but well, it's not impossible also. You need to send some comments in Java to say, okay, start recording the screen, it will show you a little graphic interface saying stop, saying record. You stop it, then you need to send some other comments to compress the video to a different standard, and you can upload it to YouTube. So it's a good tool to show also bugs, to show also problems, to record in a video and upload it to YouTube. And if Java screen recording is not working, you can even use the phone to record the screen and try to create a video about it. And YouTube doesn't give you, well, space limit, doesn't give you any problems to upload the video and share it. So a good way to share knowledge is also to create videos. I know it's not easy, and other platforms it's very easy to create a video. You know, and Stu is more complicated, but it can be done. It can be done, and it's a good way to communicate to other people. Okay.
That would be a good project for you to start practicing.
Yeah, to be honest, my issue is that even the videos is like the future, or on how the young people communicate. Yeah. I really still like the hard documentation when you find the 2 lines that you need. I can read, I can read 2 paragraphs faster than seeing a video.
Yeah.
But well,
yeah. Look at an hour news program.
Yeah.
That's under a minute reading.
That is still a very good way to show things visually. For example, I found once a bug in Firefox, and people really don't understand me. Where is the problem? Where is the bug? Okay, I start recording a video. I say, okay, I just click here and it crashed. I open it again. I click here and it crashed. And oh yeah, that is the place. Yeah. So they found the bug because I recorded that video. But it can work for different things. A video can be used for a lot of different things, to create a review, to say, oh, look how do I use this software, or even these presentations are being recorded and it will be on YouTube later. So it's
nice to embed a video in an otherwise text form that you've explained, and now you can show some motion that's not just a screenshot. That is nice.
Yeah, so it can be done. It can be done on OS too. Yeah. I know it may not be as nice as other platforms, but Java Screen Recorder works. Mm-hmm. Okay? Or using the phone to record.
Oh yeah.
The Wiki is a collaborative tool also from the wave of the Web 2.0 that is very good to make a specific thing. But sometimes they ask me, oh, how do you get time to do all the stuff, to document it, to write about this, to write the news? And the truth is that a Wiki helps me a lot. Well, they say me, yeah, you're a bad worker, a bad husband, and a bad friend. No, I use a lot of the Wiki because the Wiki allows me to have things in the time I have left. So if one day I only have 2 minutes, I work 2 minutes on the Wiki and stop there. And the next day I only have 10 minutes. I work where I left on the other 2 minutes and work from there. So at the end of the month, I have the summary of all the minutes, which ends in an article, in a page. So I use a Wiki to go creating content that is never finished until one day, oh, it's finished. Okay? So I go that way, I go little by little. There is a movie called Memento, which is about a person that loses his memory every 20 minutes. He lost his short-term memory every 20 minutes. So how does he to do something? Well, he has a lot of tattoos that remind him what he has to do. I use the Wiki the same way. I start a project, and then, I got to work. So I leave the project there, and start working 2 weeks, and when I return and say what I was doing, I go to the Wiki and say, oh, I left here, and I continue. That's how Wiki is helping me to create content or to search for things. But the Wiki, right now on the Wiki, I'm I'm using it for the open source campaign. I'm using it to recover all material, and I'm using also to collaborate with other people. So the wiki is not only a collaboration tool, it's also a tool that allows you to do things on your own time. Okay, a wiki is never finished, it changes over time. For example, Wikipedia is not finished. Tomorrow is going to be some other, there's going to be some news, there are going to be some changes, and the article has to change. So a wiki is never finished. It goes in constant transformation. There are people that think that wikis may be a mess. Maybe it's not like the internet that is connected with links to other websites or that can be searchable. Well, a wiki can be searchable, but sometimes there are articles that are disassociated one from another. But you can fix that problem, and you can also connect the articles. It's a fixable problem. It's not an issue that looks like a wiki is not organized. And always it's good to check the license of the wiki. When you submit content to a wiki, you're saying this paragraph I'm writing, I'm giving you right to use it under which license. So you have to read the license, because there are good licenses like Creative Commons. They're different kind of Creative Commons, but there are licenses that say, okay, you share, and the condition is that if someone changes, they have to share also. But you can end on a wiki that says all that you share is mine. That is not right. Okay. So we always have to check the license of the wiki. For example, Wikipedia uses the Creative Commons Share Alike license. That is a license where if you change something, you share it, and if somebody wants to use that, they also have to share it. So it's like the GPL of open source, but for documentation.
What does OS2 World use?
OS2 World use the same as Wikipedia.
Okay.
Use the same as the Creative Commons Share Alike.
Okay.
And NetLabs and AVM2 also use the same.
Oh, okay.
Okay. This is an example of how to use the wiki. I'm going to use the computer here.
Okay.
If I see something. This is the OS2 World Wiki, which is os2world.com/wiki. This is how generally, the script is called Mediawiki, and this is how there are several wikis that look the same way. So we have categories, we have, there is in the navigation map, we have categories, and we have articles on that categories. For example, I want to write an article. So I will start with the subject of the article. I don't know, it can be like PMView review. I'm going to write a review about PMView. Okay, so I just write PMView review on the search. And I search for something that is called PMView review. There are not articles called PMView review, and it showed me the first one on red here. So to create the page, I just click it here. And I can start creating content here. Okay, I can put my article here, I can put my name, I can even create links. Mediawiki uses some special notations for subjects, for links. For example, if I put the equal, sorry, English keyboard. This is a subject. This is a heading, sorry. Equal to finish it. This is a text content. And a link has, I don't know in English how to say this.
Square bracket.
A square bracket. Square bracket. HTTP, I'm going to put the link.
Sorry about English.
Yeah. square bracket. Okay, so I have a heading that has the equals, and I have text, and I have a square bracket. There are links. So this is just an example of how Mediawiki works. It's really very easy, and you can cheat. You can go to other article, edit it, and see how is the notation on that article. So you can cheat. Oh, it's like HTML. You can see the source and say, oh, so this is how he created this article. So I have the heading, this text, and a link to OS2 World. So it's very easy to create a wiki, and it's very useful. So you can see your contributions here, and see where you left last time you were creating content.
You need to be logged in.
You need to be logging. You need to create your account on the OS2 World main page. You create your user, your password, and with the same user and password, you log in here to the wiki. Yeah.
And anyone who is a OS2 World member can edit wiki.
Anybody that registered to OS2 World can also have access to the wiki with the same username and password.
Yeah.
So, for example, I have I'm going to check my recent changes. You're going to see things that maybe you don't understand. Here it is, PMU review is the article that I just created. And I have some other articles about, people who I am talking to try to open source their stuff. So I keep the log here on the wiki. And for example, I have this about PM Scrapbook. I don't know, this is a software that I just wanted to list there. I added a picture, I put the download link, the license, the author, and a link. I click the author, and it sent me to a link inside the same wiki where I can have information about the author. And I also created, I put every person as a contributor on that category, and I also have the list of persons. This is our fallen heroes. These are all the people that have contributed to the OS2 community. Maybe I'm missing some. This is only the one that starts with A, B, and then we have the next 200, sorry, D. And these are all fallen heroes. Why I have this? This is collateral because I was searching hubs for source code. So every time I found a software, I say, oh, this one was created by Dave Saville. I'm going to put some information about Dave Saville and the software he created. And then I'm going to try to contact him to see if we can open source his software. So I started creating a page for each person that created some kind of software on OS2. And it is going to be created, and it's not going to be finished, but I'm going to keep improving it with time. So this was collateral since I was checking each file on hubs. I say, I can also start doing this and start naming each person and see what software they created. Okay, so this is a quick sample of how the wiki works. I have the main page. I have articles by category. I have hardware articles. Each page is like an article. I need help, for example, on hardware, on people that wants to review some hardware. Say, this hardware works on OS2. I don't know how. This works on OS2, so I'm going to write a review on how I made it work on OS2, and I can do it here on the wiki. Okay? You can do it the first time, and maybe you can don't be shy to do a mess with this. Don't worry if you, the first time, create something that is not very nice. I can check what you did and help you to improve it. So we can collaborate and say, this is how it was wrong the first time, but we together improve it, so it can be done. Okay? So this is about the wiki that I wanted to show you. This is the tool that I use. So I can create continuous work. So I use 5 minutes, I create one thing. In 3 minutes, you can create a page of a software that you like and continue it next week or continue it in a month. Okay? So it doesn't have to be huge, just little things. Okay? So this is for an example of what we can do. We can check an OS2 application at the hubs. We can try it out. Then you can take some screenshots, and then you can post something very small on the wiki. Let's put the name of the application, and let's put some little review, 2 lines, and we can go improving that article together. Okay? There are 2 important wikis on the OS2 e-commerce station community. I think that EDM2 is very important for developers. I have tried also to organize EDM2. In fact, I just followed the work that it was done by Yuri Prokupska. Yeah.
No,
He did a great work trying to organize ADM2 wiki and request permission for authors to turn their articles that were static HTML to turn into the wiki. He requested permission because he needed that the author says, yes, I agreed with the Creative Commons share license because they are changing the copyright of their own articles. So he converted a lot of articles to that wiki, and I also start helping this on my free time and contacting other authors to put more articles here. I started this, why? Because sometimes in the Sunday afternoon I got bored because the kids I was in my in-laws house, and the kids were playing with their cousins. So I get bored. So I have a computer there, so I started checking the wiki and say, oh, this article doesn't look good. I'm going to put the header here, the other header in some other colors. And I started with small things, then I say, I'm going to organize it better. And at the end I say, okay, I'm going to check other sources of information and about development and start moving into the wiki. Okay? So, and at the end, I even found the process to ask IBM for permission to republish documentation. So I also republished IBM documentation with permission. Okay? This is for software developers. This is the source for all OS2 software development. This is very important wiki. And the other wiki for non-software development projects is the OS2 World Wiki. Here are the product reviews. Here are the people that collaborate. Here are, there are hardware that works on OS2, etc. You can put it all here. Okay, everything that is not development related. Okay? There is another way to collaborate. Another way to collaborate is helping a developer. Let's try to donate to open source projects. If they need help, let's contribute to their help, to their development. Also try to test their application and give feedback in a appropriate way. Okay? So let's try. This is something that developers really need. They need someone to test the application and give feedback. If they don't give feedback, the developer thinks that nobody is using it. And it has happened in the past that say, okay, I'm stopping this development because nobody is using it. In 5 years, I haven't heard one word of feedback, and I'm stopping it. And at that moment, the people start showing, no, I'm using it, please don't stop. But in 5 years, I haven't heard any feedback. Okay? So it's important to give feedback in a proper way to the developers. Okay? And also you can help writing documentation, writing tutorial, forum posts, anything, videos. I remember I have a Wacom tablet to draw images, and Winbrew created a USB driver that supported tablets. So I tried it out, I put my phone, I record myself using the tablet and how to use it on OS2, and I put it on YouTube, and it was really a way to help the developer in a little thing, but it helped the developer for others to check the video instead of asking the developer for for information, okay? And also there is always important why open source is still important on the community. Open source and open concepts are key for collaboration. We don't have open source because it's nice to have the source code there. We have open source because you can create we like open source because you can create derivative works from that. We like open content like the Wiki, like that is releasing on the Creative Commons license, because you can create derivative contents of it. There is no the copyright pressure that people say, no, this is my software, this is my precious. No, okay? There is nothing like that on open source. On open source, we share it, and we all get the improvements on that. I remember that I used to be in a discussion to say, no, open source is not important. Developers is all important, because if I don't have developers, I don't have Firefox for OS2. Okay, but Firefox is open source. If you don't have the source code for Firefox, can you create a browser just like Firefox with one developer? Oh, no. Okay, so open source is still important. We are porting a lot of open source software. Developers are also important, but we need to be sure that we remain on the open source area. Okay, that we keep collaborating. The key is always collaboration. Also, open source gives us clear rules on how to use the source code. There's one thing called sharing the source code, and there's one thing called open source. Open source has a license on how to use the source code. Sharing the source code, you don't know what is going on. You can use the source code, and the next day you can get sued because the authors say it's my source code, and I do with that whatever I like. But with open source, you have a license, and you have clear rules how to use the license. Okay? Open source software also helps us not to reinvent the wheel. A lot of companies are using open source. I remember that in the past, Microsoft called the UNGPL license a virus. Now they say they are brothers with Linux and they love each other. So this is why, because open source helps us not to reinvent the wheel. There are things that are or the basics software that you use it as open source, and then you put your stuff over it. So it's very good. Well, just take for example, now if you go to a modern software and go to help about, they will say, okay, even if it's commercial closed source software, it will list all the open source software that it uses behind, that it uses as background. And also, open source software and open content allow us not to depend or not to have one person or one organization to define the future and control that software. Okay? What happens if tomorrow Red Hat go to bankrupt? It can happen. What will happen to the Linux users that use Red Hat? They're going to be left high and dry? No, they're going to say, there's going to be somebody that's going to grab the source code of Red Hat, is going to compile and say, hey, come here, you use my software. It's the same source code. That allows to not have an independent and to don't be hijacked by a single by a single contractor or by a single company. Okay, that is the thing that open source helps us to reduce the risk to be left high and dry. Okay, and just finishing. I'm fine with the time. But yeah. Okay. Just finishing. The key is collaboration. Okay. Without collaboration, there is no open source. There is no open content. There is no will to help the others. So the key is collaboration. Without collaboration, open source is not the key. Will fail. And any other things we try, we will fail, because as individuals, we cannot do great things as individuals. We need to collaborate with the rest of the people, and we need to do things together, okay? So, like always, we need to learn how to work together as a decentralized team. We need to say, okay, I'm going to start with this, and somebody's going to help me with the next paragraph, and someone is going to help me with the last paragraph, and somebody's going to help me checking it. So we need to have small tasks divided in more people, okay? That is That is how it works on the open source community. And well, that's all. I want to thank you. And if you have, well, if you want to collaborate, if you want to share something, if you have some old source code in your driver that you want to share it to the world, I cannot guarantee that it's going to work, that it's going to be useful for someone today, but maybe in 10 years, in 20 years, someone will find it useful. So it will be good to share it. Okay? So you can contact me. And well, for more information on how to help the community, there is a link on the wiki. There is an article that's called How Can I Help the Community? And well, I also want to thank the sponsors, the people that donate for me to be here this year. I know the names are not there. No. I didn't ask permission for them to, I didn't want if they want to be anonymous, so since I don't have permission to list them, I prefer to just send them, okay? And that's all. I don't know if there is any question.
Anything from IRC? Is anybody on?
And this is the rule I try to follow. I try to follow Master Will Whitner,
Yeah.
like last year. So I try. Sometimes I fail, but I really try not to be. Okay, I really try, but sometimes I fail. So this is my Master Will Whitner that gives me advice from time to time. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. And that's all for today, right?
That is it for today.
Yeah.
For the very few number of directors here, we'll be meeting back here, but